Hello Tokusatsu community and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today's going to be a little bit of a special video because today I'm going to show off and talk about my experience at FanExpo Cleveland. So this was an event that happened this past weekend here in Cleveland. If you didn't know, that's where I'm at. That's where I go to school. But basically, it was a pretty convenient event for me to go to because it was just right downtown. And we were invited by a couple of my friends. Me and my roommate were invited. And we were like, yeah, let's go ahead and go. So this was my very first con experience that I have ever had, which was really exciting. I've always wanted to go to a convention before, and I've just never really had the chance to. I purchased tickets for this year's Power Morphicon back in 2019, but of course we all know what happened to that. I'm still hoping to go to Power Morphicon here in 2022 this August, but we'll see what happens. But regardless, I have finally gone to a convention and I bought some stuff. So this video is going to be my kind of experiences and haul at FanExpo. Now, really not a lot of it at all was Tokusatsu related stuff that I bought, but it's my channel. Who cares? I'm going to show it off anyway. So there are Tokusatsu related stuff that I, got at the convention, but a lot of the stuff is not, like I said. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right on into it and talk about what I got. So kicking it off with probably one of my most favorite things that I got at the convention, so one big draw in terms of the guests that were there was Roger Bumpus, who if you don't know is the voice actor for Squidward from Spongebob. Now only being 20 years old, Spongebob is something I have grown up with for my entire life. I absolutely love SpongeBob. At least the classic seasons 1 through 3 in the movie are like the golden era. I grew up with that stuff. You've probably noticed in the background of my videos for quite a while, at least here at the dorm set, we had Bold and Brash, Squidward's classic painting from season 3. But now it is signed by Roger Bumpus. So I was really excited to get this signed. I actually cosplayed SpongeBob at the convention because I thought it was a fun little thing to do. My friends were dressed up as characters from My Hero and Demon Slayer, but I went as SpongeBob. So not only did I go as SpongeBob, I of course got to take a photo with Roger, which was really cool. And of course my roommate Keyshawn also was able to join in on one of the photos as well. And I went to his really cool panel, his Q&A panel. I actually got the courage to go up and ask him a question, which I'm going to go ahead and play that clip here in a second. But of course, Keyshawn, my roommate, he came up with a question for me to ask. I was super nervous, but I went ahead and did it nonetheless. So here's the video of that happening at the event.
Hi, my name's Josh. I was wanting to know, what is your opinion on the dabbing Squidward meme?
Interesting. Thank you for mentioning that. Several years ago, I was at a con, and people would come up to my table and say, "Hey, Squidward, dab!" And I knew of it vaguely. And so I did the thing, and they would all go nuts. So I said, "Oh, I'm on to something, though." So I printed up some 8x10s of Squidward dabbing. Then I learned what dabbing is. And I did to Orlando, and some of the people from Universal and Disney came over to the show. And they told me the story of, they have a parade with guy in costume and the Squidward costume. And someone said, "Hey, Squidward, dab." And he did, and he got fired. Because it turns out that dabbing is a drug reference. But it's also a dance move. So when I heard that, I went, oh my goodness. So I took every chance and never sold it again. And then Nickelodeon came out with the dabbing Squidward action figure. So that says, it's okay, it's just a dance move. So if you come to my table, you can buy the dabbing Squidward.
Thank you so much.
There, of course, were a lot of really cool guests at the event, but that was the only one where I got an actual picture and autograph for because I wanted to buy a lot of other merch, and I don't know, that's just what I decided to do. Basically, going into this, I knew that I wanted to buy something Tokusatsu related of some kind, and then also recently, Keyshawn has made me and a couple of our friends watch Demon Slayer for the very first time, and I'm kind of trying to get into anime. I've never really gotten into anime before. I've always just been a Tokusatsu kind of guy, but he made us watch the entirety of Demon Slayer, and I fell in love with it. I absolutely love Demon Slayer. And so I'm like, okay, we gotta buy Demon Slayer stuff, right? So the very first thing I bought at the entire convention was for my pass, was a lanyard for FanExpo Cleveland that is Demon Slayer based. So that was my very first thing that I bought at the entire event before I even technically got into the event. So there's a couple of other Demon Slayer stuff, including something pretty big and pretty special, my favorite thing of the things that I bought at the event. But let's kind of dive else into this box here. So we got some Legos. This was kind of the big thing that I bought throughout the event. There was a ton of different vendors with custom minifigures. They're all custom minifigures in here. I don't even remember how many I bought, but there are MCU ones, there's Arrowverse ones, there's Toku ones, and there's Demon Slayer ones in here. So I'm going to show them all off And let's go ahead and dive on in. So these, like I said, came from a bunch of different vendors. I think this was 3 different vendors total for all of these minifigures. But the first one that I grabbed out here was this really cool, and I'm going to show off like closer footage of them, but this really cool Iron Spider MCU inspired one, which obviously is a figure that actually does exist, but it's definitely a custom one. You have these movable arms and everything like that. They're all chrome. You get a Peter head. What's really cool is that the back of it, which you can't see really in this camera angle, but the back of the Spider-Man head does actually have the instant kill eyes from what did he use that in? He used it in Endgame, obviously. So that's really cool, and I thought that this was really well done. And all of these were like $5 or less even, or you got some kind of deal for buying multiples or whatever. So we got Iron Spider, so that's a really cool one to get. And I was careful, I was scared carrying it around the whole day because I didn't want to snap off the arms. And then I bought a couple Arrowverse ones because if you didn't see, half of the Arrowverse just got killed the other day. They canceled Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman on the CW, unfortunately. And I haven't watched the Arrowverse in a couple of years, but I used to really, really like it. And I was just kind of in an Arrowverse mood, so I was able to get The Flash, good old Barry Allen, and Green Arrow, good old Oliver Queen. And then to go with them, I did, of course, get good old Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash. So I got the 3 of them. A nice little Arrowverse trio, and all of these minifigures, like I said, are customs, but they're really, really well done. The printing is fantastic. Like I said, you barely can see them in this camera angle, and there will be closer shots that are appearing up on the screen of B-roll while I talk about them, but I'm very happy to have gotten this little trio. But honestly, some of the most exciting minifigures are not even these ones. We have these 2. Actually, we'll start with this one, because this one is the only one that is not Toku related that's left in here. So I did get one Demon Slayer one, the good old Hashira himself, Tengen, which is really, really cool. He does have both of his swords. They're not connected on a chain, but he does have both of his swords. And the printing is fantastic. You get the printing on the back, and it's just, they're so well done. Like, you would think that they're official. Some of them are even better than some official ones would be, I would imagine. But they're really, really good. So I got a Tengen one from Demon Slayer. And then thanks to Keyshawn for pointing it out at the booth. I would have missed it if he hadn't pointed it out. But I got 2 Tokusatsu related ones, so now we finally bring something up on this video that is related to the channel. So the first one I got was the 2017 movie Red Ranger. Now they had the whole team there, but I didn't think that they looked absolutely amazing, and I didn't want to buy all of them. I just wanted to get at least one. So for some reason he's holding a dragon dagger, but I'll take it. But the printing is really, really good all over this. It looks like the 2017 movie Red. The helmet might be a little strange, but you definitely get the point across. And I love those suits, and I was like, this is really cool. And the same booth that had the 2017 movie Red actually had a little row of Ultraman. I didn't get any of the Ultraman ones because I wanted to get the one that was right next to it because I thought it was really cool and really random. They had one Kamen Rider V3. I have no idea why Kamen Rider V3 of all riders, but sure, he's one of my favorite Showa riders, and it turned out really, really good. So it's very, very blurry on this camera angle, but yeah, it's Kamen Rider V3 as a Lego minifigure. How cool is that? So that's all the minifigures that I got, which, like I said, I got a lot. That was 6 minifigures, I think, total. So not bad, not bad. But look at these. So these are actually the only, or not only, but these are kind of the biggest Toku thing. These are the only official Toku thing that I bought. Everything else is an artist print or those custom minifigures or something. So I don't know the official name for these, to be quite honest with you. But every week, whenever they update the Soto blog on the Bandai Candy Toy blog, they talk about these little artworks that you can buy as well. And there was a booth that had a whole stack of them for $2 a piece. And I pretty much cleared out every unique one that they had. I think I left 2 that I didn't really get, which were Saber ones, because they were for Elemental Dragon, and that's not my favorite Saber form. My favorite Primitive Dragon, I would have gone for it. But these, I got 5 of them, so $2 a piece. So these are all official artworks that are basically based off of either some kind of movie or some kind of episode in particular. They're all based off of a very certain particular moment from the Kamen Rider franchise. So the ones that I got here, the very first one on the top, is Geo Fighting 01 from Kamen Rider Beyond Generations? No, not Beyond Generations. Reiwa the First Generation. I knew there was something like that. This was from the Geo and 01 crossover film, so they do fight each other at the end of the movie, and that's what this is a reference to. And then I got this one, which I'm not going to remember the exact episode numbers off the top of my head, but this is from the Agito tribute arc of Geo. So it is the finisher rider kick of Agito Trinity and Geo Trinity. So this is really cool. I love that arc of Geo. I love the fact that the two Trinities go together and that they play Agito theme music during the fight. So this is really cool. I want to say this is episode like 32 of Geo. It's somewhere around that. I know it's probably not the exact number, but it is from the show around that time frame. It's from the Agito arc. This is another one from a movie. This is Kamen Rider Joker versus the Heat Dopant from the Gaia Memories A to Z film. Really, really cool. I love Kamen Rider Joker. What an absolutely awesome tokusatsu suit. So I'm really happy to have gotten this artwork. The next one I got is another one from my favorite Rider series, which is Build, one of my favorite Rider series. So this is from like Build episode 40, like 6 or 7. It's towards the final arc of the show. So this is a 4-way rider kick of Build, Cross, Grease, and Rogue versus Evolt, which is really, really cool. I love this. I think this is the one where Build had the hazard trigger on in the Genius form. So that is really, really sweet. Like, just look at that. That is awesome. And then I had to double up on Build ones as well, because this one is from one of the darkest episodes of the franchise, or at least of Build especially. I think this is from Build 21, or something like that, around the time Hazard goes berserk, and does what you know he does. I'm not going to spoil it, but basically there is that really awesome artwork of Build Rabbit Tank Hazard, which is a beautiful form, and I just love this artwork. It's so good. And that was it. That's the 5 of these that I got. Like I said, I think I only left like 1 or 2 behind that were other unique ones. They had a couple of duplicates of some of these as well. But when I went up to the booth and they were like $2 a piece for them, I just was like, I'm going to get that one. And I'm going to get that one. And I'm going to get that one. And then Keyshawn's standing there like, wow, he's found them, huh? And I'm like, yep, I'm getting them all. So there is that. Now, one of the things that I got was I got 2 Hasbro figures at the convention, but not Lightning Collection. There was nothing Lightning Collection I would have needed to pick up because I have everything Lightning Collection. I only ever actually saw 1 Lightning Collection item at the events, which was a Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger from Wave 2, which the seller wanted $100 for, which I didn't need that. But basically, I talked about this last week, but a deep discount. I got the 3-0 Red Ranger figure on sale during that really weird deep discount that they went through. And I had gotten, and I mentioned in the video as well, I had gotten 3 Marvel Legends from deep discount, which I did not get at the convention. I got them from deepdiscount.com, but they arrived the day of the convention, and so I got a figure to go with them. So real quick, the ones that I actually got from deep discount was the Spider Armor Mark 1 from the new Spider-Man Retro Wave. So I paid $7 for this on deep discount, which will go nicely with the Negative Zone Spider-Man that is hanging up here on the wall. That's been hanging up there for months. And then also from the sale, I got the J. Jonah Jameson one from the No Way Home Wave. And I got Domino from the Deadpool 2 anniversary wave thing that they did, I think, in 2020. So this is the figure that I got something to go with at the con. So at the con, there was a booth selling like Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, that kind of stuff, as my chair likes to squeak around. And I picked up, to go with Domino, I got Cable. So good old Josh Brolin himself. I know this used to be a Walmart exclusive when it first came out, and it looks really good. So I got Cable, and now I have Domino, which means I'm going to have to get the Deadpool and Negasonic Teenage Warhead 2-pack. So I do plan on doing that, because my birthday is in like 3 weeks, so I plan on using some birthday money to get that. Now, if you watched Lightning Storm this past weekend, I talked about at the very end, I gave some praise to the G.I. Joe team for just absolutely killing it with their Fan First Tuesday last week. I've really been in a G.I. Joe mood the last couple of weeks, to be quite honest with you. I think the Classified series looks awesome. So I bought Snake Eyes. So I kind of thought, I should get kind of the mascot of the franchise. Kind of the iconic member. So this is an original Wave 1 Snake Eyes. I've heard that there's different variants of this figure. One that he doesn't have red on his head. That kind of rhymed. But mine does have red on his head. And I think that somebody said there was a variant of like the knife holster not being functional or something like that. And I haven't opened it yet, obviously, to actually test that. But basically, this was basically retail price. The seller wanted $25 for this, which is essentially the new retail price. It wouldn't have been the price when it came out originally 2 years ago. But that's fine, it's perfectly sealed, and I just have not opened it yet. So this is now my second Classified Series figure. I do already have the Pimp Daddy Destro one that came out as a fan channel a couple years ago because I just thought it was hilarious and I wanted the sunglasses and burning money for other figures. But now I got a Snake Eyes, and after the Fan First Tuesday last week, I pre-ordered one of the Crimson Guards from the upcoming wave. So I don't know. I might collect a couple G.I. Joe figures here and there. I just think the Classified series looks really good, honestly. And I have no attachments to this franchise whatsoever, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn about it. I'm willing to get a couple more figures. We'll see. You know, Lightning Collection will of course be my top priority, and I'm not going to cover G.I. Joe on the channel or anything like that because it's not Tokusatsu related. I'm not going to cover Marvel Legends on the channel or anything like that. This is just a special case that I'm talking about it all today. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool purchase. So, speaking of my birthday, so my birthday is on May 19th, and at that point I will turn 21 years old, which means I will be legal drinking age, so I decided to get a shot glass. So, I got a shot glass of the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, or I guess Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because I absolutely love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and so I got, really hard to see it. I don't know why I'm holding my hand up to it, that's just going to make it worse, but yeah, you can probably tell. It is the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo. And then this booth, if you bought something from one particular shelf, which is where this came from, you got to pick out something for free from like their special shelf. So I actually picked out a Squid Game mug. So it has the circle, square, and triangle. I watched Squid Game last year and I loved it, so I thought this was a pretty cool thing to get. I thought the green kind of looked like the jumpsuits that are used in the show. So I was like, that is pretty neat. So I got those. And then pretty much the only other things that I got before I show off the big thing that I got was some artwork. So these came from the same artist, and I want to make sure I got the artist's name correctly. This is done by Andrew Heath, and I will leave a link to his website in the description below, because I walked past his booth and his artwork had like this minimalistic look to it that almost made me think of it being like Tom Whalen artwork. It looked a lot like Tom Whalen artwork to me, which I love, obviously. So he had a Power Rangers related one, which is this really sweet Dragon Dagger artwork, which I absolutely love. I love that it has the tune down there, like on the music graph. I love that in the corner it says that it's created by Ninjor, so like he did his research, and it just kind of is like a blueprint that kind of just shows off all the pieces of the Dragon Dagger. I don't know, I thought it looked really sweet, so I wanted to pick that up. And then if you bought a certain print from him, or a certain price print, you got like another one for half off. So I got a Peacemaker one that says "Give Peace a Chance," because that was a fantastic show. So there's the Peacemaker one. So those are the only artworks that I got, and then there was this booth selling just like random prints of stuff. And I got this print of the Turbo movie, just to kind of put up either on the dorm walls, maybe next year or something, or like in my set, my Toku Topics little set that I have back at home, since I am going home in a couple of weeks. And I don't know, just thought it'd be a cool thing to have. I'm not like the hugest fan of the Turbo movie, but you know, cool little fun thing for a Power Rangers fan to have. And that is basically it for everything that I got at FanExpo, except for the big thing, which was a replica, a big replica Demon Slayer sword. So this was like the coolest thing that I got by far. There was a booth with like a bunch of different weapon replicas and such. They actually had some Power Ranger ones there. They had a Blade Blaster and a Dragon Dagger, Saba, the Sword of Darkness, which I didn't even notice because I noticed the Demon Slayer stuff first, and then Keyshawn was like, they got Power Ranger weapons here too, and I'm like, oh, I don't care, I need this. So Keyshawn got a really cool Tanjiro one, you know, like the black blade and everything, and I got Zenitsu's sword. Why? Because Zenitsu is all lightning based, and of course you know how I am with lightning. So there is a really sweet sword. I thought it's like a bamboo sword, and the holster or the sheath is really nice quality, but the sword is like a bamboo sword painted, and it looks really, really cool. I absolutely love this. Me and Keyshawn have just been carrying these around the dorm, kind of our apartment here for the last couple of days. Like we'll just kind of just like pace around and just kind of grab them because they're just so cool. And yeah, that is that. So that's basically it. I think that is everything that I got at FanExpo Cleveland. It was a fantastic time. It was a 3-day event, but I only went on the Saturday. But it was awesome. Like, it was just a really cool event. I spent a lot of money. I bought a lot of cool things. And like I said, not a lot of it was Tokusatsu related, but some of it was. So I figured, hey, why not show it off on the channel, kind of give my experience or whatever. It was a blast, and I really thank me and Keyshawn's friends for inviting us to go with them. It was a great time, and I cannot wait to go to another convention again, which would be Power Morphicon 2022. I do intend on going there this summer, so we'll see how that goes, and I gotta start saving for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit of a different kind of video than I've done here on the channel before. And like I said, I know a lot of it wasn't tokusatsu related, so if you come here for toku stuff, you probably don't care about this video as much. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Keyshawn kind of was like, hey, you should do this video because it's a kind of a good test to kind of see how other properties, you know, are I don't know, perceived on the channel, I suppose. And I'm not saying that I'd ever like necessarily dive into like Demon Slayer stuff or G.I. Joe stuff, but it's like other interests that I do have currently besides just tokusatsu. So hey, you know, why not try to branch out a little bit, see kind of what happens if I kind of try to do that a little bit. So that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching, and of course until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LiveRangerKey or at LandingFigPR, and I'll see you all next time.